Imagine you're getting ready for your day. You wake up, brush your teeth, get dressed, and head to work. Suddenly, you realize today is not your working day. It's Saturday. You have to go back and change everything you just did. Sounds inefficient, right? This is exactly what happens in AVC when static defaults are used and overwritten. Just like in our model morning routine static, which I open in the VC modeling environment. Here we have a constraint named routine static in the constraint net. We have a morning routine defined as an object from a class. The condition characteristic check mobile calendar must have a value, and the restriction corresponds to a variant table. Depending on whether the working day is set to yes or no, the wake-up time varies, as does what one wears and where one goes. The set Saturday procedure sets the characteristic check mobile calendar to Saturday. The set working day no if weekend procedure sets the value of the characteristic working day static to no if the mobile calendar indicates Saturday or Sunday. When we look at the characteristic working day static, we see that the working day is set to yes by default. The check mobile calendar characteristic has the days of the week as values. We execute the model with the value setting. Working day is no. I turn on the trace to see what happens. First, high-level processing occurs. Then, the working day is set to yes, as static defaults are always applied first. The default is executed as we see in the master data. The default is set to working day. The value is set to Saturday. Since it defaults to a working day, the wake-up time is set to 6:30 a.m., brush teeth, destination work, and business clothes. Only due to the procedure is it now set to no, as the day is set to Saturday. The consequences of the default are retracted, and then new consequences are calculated on top of that. So the wake-up time is 9 a.m., destination forest and sport cloths. Every interaction with the AVC UI results in a specific sequence of steps, like your morning routine. But just like checking your calendar and realizing it's a special day, if you use static defaults, which are always set first, and then overwrite them, you're forcing the system to undo and redo a lot of work. Dynamic defaults, on the other hand, work like checking your calendar first. You only set the default if there's no special case to consider. Let's take a look at the model with dynamic defaults. For the characteristic working day dynamic, no default is set, different to what we saw in the previous model. The constraint looks similar. The variant table also looks the same. For set Saturday dynamic, we see that Saturday is set as the default. For set working day, a dynamic default is set. We set check mobile calendar to Saturday and select no for working day dynamic. Let's look at the trace. User assignment for working day dynamic is set to no. Values are set for Saturday. Here, the procedure is executed. The default is dynamic and is not set, as it is not a working day. So, try to minimize the use of static defaults, especially in combination with overrides. Dynamic defaults reduce the need for undoing and redoing, making the process much more efficient. And if you want to learn more about advanced variant configuration, go to SAP Help Portal.